Welcome to OldTimers Trivia, Game 3, the Quick Edition. We have 3 editions, the original edition, the challenge edition, and the quick edition. The original assumes that you are playing games, much as we do with our friends, and there are delays, there are pauses, so you can discuss answers, and so you can tally your points. The challenge edition is the same, though it's a more difficult version in that many of the questions in the original edition give you options to select from, whereas the challenge edition takes away those options from many of the questions. The quick edition assumes that you might be playing on your own, and you don't want these pauses and delays as we go through the game, so that you can move forward. Now, you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, and I encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss any of our games as we march along. Okay, moving forward. Question. Now, somewhere in the Black Hills of Dakota, there lived a young boy named The answer, Rocky Raccoon. Question 2. Yogi Bear's constant companion was Boo Boo. Barney was Fred Flintstone's constant companion. Cato? Well, we're going to skip that one altogether. Which one of the following choices does not identify Agatha Christie characters or character? She's been a favorite. Both her short stories, books, and the video productions. Alexander Monday. He, in fact, is the character Robert Wagner plays in the TV program It Takes a Thief. The first interactive TV show used a magic drawing screen, a piece of vinyl plastic that stuck to the television set by a static electricity. At a climactic scene in every short film, our star would arrive on the scene that contained the connect-the-dots picture that could be navigated only with the help of the viewers. Our hero is and of course, if you didn't have the drawing screen rather, some young people might very well draw right on the TV screen. I've often wondered about that. Now, I can't say his name, I helped Winky Dink cross a bridge at some point. Remember that well. Who says I'm your Huckleberry? That's just my game. Val Kilmer is Doc Holliday in Tombstone. The movie's great. He's great in it. And they went back and researched and used expressions that were not unusual for that time period. So this has some measure of authenticity to it, at least in terms of it being a phrase of that era. Research at Indiana University that became controversial. The work resulted in 2 books, Sexual Behavior in the Human Male and Sexual Behavior in the Human Female. The work was conducted by, and the author, along with co-workers, is the answer is Alfred Kinsey. Now, we had actually we had one person who had gone to Indiana University but apparently answered Masters and Johnson, not realizing that Kinsey had come first and they were working, I believe, at the Kinsey Institute. Okay, that wraps up round one. I won't give you a moment. Points. Moving forward, round two, Bonnie and Clyde, their names were. Of course, these people lost their lives in a hail of bullets. But not before they went on quite a crime spree. The Big John and Somebody show was carried daily on 181 ABC stations beginning in 1950. The 2-hour Saturday show, No School Today, was heard weekly by 12 million listeners on 275 stations. The Saturday show usually featured a retelling of the latest serial episode of Captain Jupiter, which our hero and his friend Rabbit Ears McKester saw at the movies. If you should go down to the woods today, better not go alone, for all the bears that are gathered there for certain because... Oh, yes, excuse me, I got carried away. Certainly it was a show that I remember, though I do get scolded by some of my fellow old-timers who don't go back quite as far. Here's an easier one for them. A TV version of The Adventures of Superman ran from 52 to 58, starring and, of course, George Reeves. Now, Kirk Allen played Superman in a movie, the chapter plays or serials. Christopher Reeve, of course, played the role in movies at a later date. We all know who George James Olsen is, and Steve Reeves played Hercules and a number of other characters of that sort. Who sings I Talk to Trees and Paint Your Wagon? Yes, you can get his album even somewhere, maybe on eBay. But, well, I'm not sure I'm going to rush out to listen to it. Which of the following books has the greatest number sold? This seemed to be a challenge for folks. And the answer is, caught some people by surprise in our Starbucks game. And here's a question to sort out the young timers. The Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, but of course. How many people were killed at the OK Corral in 1881? Three were killed. Now, Virgil, Morgan, and Doc Holliday, but that's Virgil Earp, Morgan Earp, and Doc Holliday, were all wounded. Wyatt Earp, of course, escaped without injury. And the story became legend beginning in the early 1900s when Wyatt told his story. Round 3. Chuck Berry in Sweet Little 16 sings 'Cause They'll Be Rockin' on Bandstand in Philadelphia, PA. Who says, Mr. Watson, come here, I want you? Alexander Graham Bell. Mark Twain's first published book, other than the short story compilations, is The Innocents Abroad. I'll tell you a story that's related to this in a later game, but I'm saving it for that time. Which one of the following is a fallen angel? I made the mistake of saying this is for your biblical scholars out there and naming a particular person. I got scolded because she came back unbiblical scholar. The Speedo originated in what year under the brand name Fortitude? The name was later changed to Speedo. In our Starbucks group, someone asked me, even though they knew it was not the case, but still had to ask me if I modeled for this. And that's 1914. And that was in Australia. Johnny Dollar, the man with the action-packed expense account. The name of the radio show was? This is another one I got scolded for, saying, hey, you're getting these things too old. My response was, hey, I used to sit in the basement while my father worked, and he and I would listen to yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Elvis' first radio performance was on which of these shows? Louisiana Hayride. Obviously, the Ed Sullivan Show was a television show. And now for our bonus question. I hope you're doing well. This turned out to be quite an easy one for folks. Of course, one of our people blurted out the answer. Interestingly enough, this appeared on Jeopardy, and the three contestants were of an age that they didn't know the answer to this question. They were just clueless. Fred and Ethel Mertz. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook as OldTimers Trivia. Your contributions help keep OldTimers Trivia alive. Please go to DonorBox and support OldTimers. Thank you. Plus, you can visit our OldTimers store on eBay. We put up new items regularly, and you can subscribe to our newsletter on eBay. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget we have the following editions: the original edition for team play, the challenge edition for tougher team play, and the quick edition. The quick edition does not have the delays for group discussion, delays for the tallying of points. It's for someone who wants to play more quickly, maybe playing on their own, and so you have your options. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next game.